Well, for those of you paying attention, we are glad you are with us. We are broadcasting live tonight in the Bud Light live stream and the Happy Hour live stream. As a matter of fact, we are here at Rebellion Brewery, and we are going to talk some brewing tonight. We are going to talk about Country in the Burg tonight. And for those that are following along at home, I'm sitting here with Peter Johan, who is the founder of Country in the Burg, and also Peter Olds, who is one of the co-owners of Rebellion Brewery. First of all, you got a nice crowd out here tonight, Peter.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Is this normal?
Yep, pretty normal.
Okay.
Now. Yeah.
I thought maybe they just wanted to come up and see you make a video debut tonight.
That might be too.
There you go. First of all, great to have both you guys here. Alex, we got to start. Country in the Burg is something that we were talking about earlier today on the air, and we had people saying, "Well, what is it?" And so why don't we start there? Because the way this works is we're sitting around BSing about, we got beer, which is what it's supposed to be. We've actually got cigars, and we're going to talk a little music. We're going to talk a little brewing. So how did Country in the Burg come about?
Yeah, great question, Bill. It basically started back in 2014. It was an idea. I grew up being a big country music fan, going to a whole bunch of Summerfest, Country Thunder, Country
Right.
all these ideas, and 2014, I wanted to do something that gave back to charity and something with a hometown feel. And I kept working on it, and then I brought it up to the city back in 2018, and they loved the idea of bringing a big-name country music guy here to Cedarburg.
Let's do this 1 second, because I believe, Peter, say something for me.
Yep. Hey.
We got yours.
Oh, that's better. There I am. Now I can hear myself.
There you go. So now
I was
we
just
got you.
miming for everybody out there.
That's
all it was.
okay.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to it. We you know what? Technically, it's always weird
Yeah.
because you never know what you're going to get on some of these things. So, okay, let's start. Country in the Burg began where?
Yeah, so it was an idea that I had to just do a country music festival, and it was going to happen. The idea came in 2014, and it was just an idea to do a country music festival that benefited charities. And I worked on it, because there's so many festivals. People call Wisconsin the Nashville of the North because there's just so many big events.
Yeah.
And in 2018, I proposed it to the city of Cedarburg, and I said, hey, I got this idea. Let's bring a big-name country artist to benefit charities here in hometown, small-town Cedarburg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, that probably might not work
Right.
because it's a small town. But, I kept working on it, and I teamed up with Mel's Charities, Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, and the Wounded Warrior Project for our military. And I said, hey, let's do something. Let's bring a big name in here. And the board passed unanimously, especially when I brought on Mel's Charities of Ozaukee County. And it was an idea I've had for a while. And I wanted to do something small. And that's kind of how things got rolling, was just on that idea.
How did you get teamed up with Peter?
So, Peter, I just, growing up here, I've always come down to this area.
Just
right?
drinking?
Drinking, beers. I play softball. Even tonight I have a game. It's right across the street, Cedar Creek Park.
Okay.
And, I knew Peter back from the North 48 days, even with a little bit of the Compass stuff. I just knew Peter from just being in the industry, and he knows a lot about beers. And I came over here in 2019 to say, hey, we're running this festival that's going to be basically connected to his entrance. And I said, how cool would it be to bring a festival pre-party here and do everything at Rebellion? And Rebellion's got that country Americana feel to it, which relates to
their
a lot
motto
of our
is. Your motto is what?
It's beer for the people.
There you go.
Yep.
Exactly. And so that's kind of just what we thought about. Hey, this festival happened in 2019, and we brought in Kip Moore the first year with Josh Thompson, David Nail, and we teamed up with Peter here at Rebellion. And the pre-party was awesome. We just had a big event here with the radio station, and we had Miss Wisconsin here, and it was just a great time for everybody. And we're excited to be teaming up again this year for a two-day fest.
Heck yeah.
So, Peter, when they say they teamed up with you, what is your entity in all of this? What do you do?
So we host the official pre-party spot here for Country in the Burg. So beforehand, you'll have from 2 to 5 on Friday and Saturday. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff going on down here. We'll have some bands. Saturday we have the Bootjack Road coming down here, country music band from 2 to 5. On Saturday we're gonna have Miss Petite Wisconsin down here. We got Shot Girls, the whole deal, and it's making a fun event.
Yeah.
And we're so close in proximity that our property is attached to the park where Country in the Burg goes on. So it was a natural fit for this. It's right on this doorstep here. So
I want to ask you, Alex, how did you get other than money, because of the venue. This is not a giant stage at Summerfest with backstage, and this is not BMO Harris. This is not Marcus. This is literally an amphitheater in the middle of a park.
Yeah, it's definitely rare, is what I like to call it. I mean, you're talking about Cedar Creek Park, with a creek that naturally goes around this park. There's houses across the street. You're in downtown Cedarburg. You can drive by without even knowing it's there. And when people drive by, also, they go, this place isn't that big. How can it fit, right?
Yeah.
So it took a lot of planning. They do a great thing called Summer Sounds here every Friday night. They have live music down here for people just to bring their chairs and sit and listen to good music. And I thought, why not bring that Summerfest feel to here? But it took a lot of work. So I actually, on the stage, I have to actually make the stage larger. We have to put 12-foot fence all the way around. We bring video boards in. Like, we turn this park for one weekend into something really special. And I think the artists enjoy it. They're so used to those 60,000 arenas and big venues, but they all started on a bar stool in a bar somewhere performing to somebody. They caught their break. So I think it's cool that they like to come back to something of a hometown, small town feel while also giving back to charity. So, we're very lucky.
Because of that, do you run into reluctance? When you go to talk to somebody, say, hey, we got a park in the middle of a town called Cedarburg, which, by the way, is north of Milwaukee. It's only this big. Mm-hmm. You want to come and play in the park with us? It's got to be, I mean, if you're an agency, because everybody goes through the agency. You know, that's the first thing. Everybody goes through the agency. The agency's probably going, let me Google map that real quick.
Yeah. We have our challenges. I mean, our challenges are, we have Summerfest, we have Country USA, we have these festivals that have mile clauses around us, right? So everyone's fighting for the same artist, number one. So the artist isn't going to play at all four. They're going to pick and choose, right? They're going to go with something that has maybe a history, right? And we're very new. So that's a challenge, right? And two, the size of the stage. We have to tell these artists, hey, you can't do your full tour production. We only can do so much. Right. Our openers, who are usually full band, they have to be acoustic, which is kind of a cool acoustic performance. Right. But it's a Saturday or Friday in the summer. They might want to do a full band play somewhere else.
Right.
So we really have to craft how we're presenting the offer to them of making this, hey, this is something really unique, really special, really tied down to the charity aspect of it. It takes a little work on my end and the person I work with to get it done. But luckily with country music, there's always artists out there that kind of can connect with us and want to be there.
When you bring the artists in and when you have them experience this, do you then say, please go tell others? It would be great to have the same person come back every year if they have a following, but you tell them, hey, can you please go tell others?
The coolest thing that happened back in 2019 when Kip Moore came, knock on wood, everything. This is wood, right? Maybe I don't know. I hope it is.
It's got something on it.
It's wood. Just say it to me. Yeah. Is that in 2019, everything went out without a hitch. I mean, Kip Moore loved it, and that doesn't happen that often. And Kip Moore is actually coming back, which he had an offer at Summerfest. He could go play bigger, and he loved it. And what he did was the night after the show, he posted on his Instagram, which has almost 600,000 followers, that, hey, Alex, congratulations on Country in the Burg, Cedarburg. We had an awesome time. I mean, who does that, right? Yeah. And so now he comes back, people who follow him like that, and he's good buddies with Billy Currington, who's now our Saturday headliner.
Yeah.
So now maybe that had to play with it, but you're right. If we can do it successful and the big name likes it, it only benefits us to be able to get names down the road, say, hey, this is not just a rinky-dink little thing. It's a well-run production.
So people that have never been here, by the way, if you're watching at home or wherever it is, you're paying attention to the broadcast, whether it's over on the YouTube or if it's Facebook Live or whatever it is, kind of an outside setting here. It's right along the creek, the river, if you will. You got the falls in the background. Yep. First of all, when it comes to Rebellion Brewery, how long has this been open and how did you start this over here, Peter?
We've been here for now, it was 3 years on the 4th of July. We opened on 4th of July in 2018. It seemed fitting for kind of brewery we are and our theme and everything, Rebellion Brewing. It's a very it's an American pub. So very Americana, very patriotic kind of bar. And I had some friends who used to own the brewery that was here before us, and they were looking to get out. And I'd been in the bar business basically my entire life. So this location is phenomenal. The building is from 1844.
Because the building's unique.
Yeah.
You got to walk over like a moat to get in this thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like coming into the big, 500-pound castle door.
Right.
And the walls are 3 feet thick. And it's pretty cool building. It's an old grist mill. So
how did you get the tanks in there?
Well, that was always the trick. Most of those tanks had to be built in there.
Really?
So, yeah. And some of the doors, we had to a lot of the big tanks had to be built in there. We had to cut out extra entrances, expand our entryways to get some other tanks in there. So it was a little bit of a project.
Because you don't usually find a brewery in a castle.
No.
You don't know it's here from the street. If you don't know it's here.
No, we're one of those best kept secrets kind of thing here because it's
not kept because you got a lot full out here right now. But
one of those hidden gems. So we're down right around Cedar Creek here, and this beautiful outdoor patio is just awesome. The building is just such a unique. It's from 1844. We're very fortunate to be able to have this place. It's a great setting for a brewery, and it was being a grain mill, kind of fortuitous, I guess, but it was a grain mill back then. So now we're rocking and rolling here.
So is there anything special you guys are doing for that weekend? So when people want to, because wherever they're watching this, if people want to come out and say, okay, I want to stop here first, is this just for the private party, or is this completely wide open?
No, we'll be open at 12 o'clock on Friday, 12 p.m. on Friday, and 11 a.m. on Saturday. So we'll be open bell to bell here both days. So come on in whenever. The party itself will be starting around 2 o'clock, and that'll run till basically when it runs out. So that'll be the band's here from 2 to 5 those days. So that way, as soon as they end, head on over to Country in the Burg. The music continues over there. So it's just a great spot to start at. So we'll have 15 different tap beers, a couple different ciders now. We started doing ciders just recently, so we got those rolling out.
Yeah,
now.
By the way, the strawberry rhubarb is fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm leaving here, in a cab.
Good choice.
So, Alex, I wanted to ask you, so when people want to get here and they stop here first and then they head over, seats, no seats, bring in your own? What are you doing?
So
you're in a park, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, we are doing, in the pit, it's standing room only. Just because the nature of the beast at a pit is just everybody loves to stand and have a good time. Bringing a chair would be just a mess, right? So the GA area, we are allowing people to bring chairs in if they want. They have to be out of their bags just for security checks. But a lot of times people don't even bring chairs because it's in the evening time. It's not an all-day thing. And, people are sitting, it's grass. They can sit down. And also the chair doesn't really mark your spot. But we do allow them in the GA area if they want to sit down for that show.
Okay, so it's not seating; it's just general admission in the VIP area.
Yep, just both of those.
Okay.
Yep.
So, how are tickets available?
Yeah, tickets are available. You just go to countryintheburg.com. We're very limited. We're under 250 left from a sellout. 2019 we sold out. We are on pace to sell prior to the show. Our goal is to not sell them the day of. It makes it a lot easier for us if we don't have to. And then, of course, the pre-party here. And like Pete said, this was an easy no-brainer pick of a place to do it. Rebellion is just gorgeous on the river, and like you said, it's a hidden gem. Cedarburg has amazing bars and restaurants and streets, but something like this is just so unique, and I think it shows off the nature and the thing that puts Cedarburg on the map as well.
So you can go to right there on the screen, countryintheburg.com for tickets and information if you want to pick it up. So now vendors inside, because we know we're all in a really weird society right now, whether it's masks or no mask, and you're going to get a lot of those questions. Outdoor venue. We're not. Are you talking masks? No mask? So it's something that we don't want to talk about. We got to talk about.
We got to talk about. Yeah, it keeps coming up even more and more as the show gets closer. Nothing will be required. We did follow the CDC and the health guidelines of recommending, of course, masks recommending sanitizing, recommending social distancing when possible, and everything like that. But none of it will be officially required. We're going to do the best measures to make sure everybody is healthy and safe while at the event, especially an outdoor venue. Also, the venue holds anywhere close to 6,000 people standing. We only allow 4,000 tickets. So it's a very spacious area outside.
So you're coming to see Kip Moore and Billy Currington. There's only 4,000 total people.
On each day,
yeah.
I mean,
that's amazing.
In that park, as you know, it's not that big.
Right.
So you could be in the back of the GA, and you're only 350 feet away from the stage.
Right.
So
not a bad spot in the crowd. That's
exactly.
For sure.
I mean, even on the worst night, I know Billy Currington played, and I think Kip Moore did too. They both played after an Admirals game, and even down at the arena, they had 10,000.
Yeah.
And it's so you're squeezing 4,000 in, and that's what you're limiting it to.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for tickets, the tickets I would assume are selling briskly.
They're briskly, and like I said, the pit's been sold out for months.
Yeah.
The GA is the only thing that's remaining. We have 2-day passes. We just recently last week opened up 1-day passes because there are other people that can't make maybe one day or the other. I mean, Friday we have Kip Moore, Drake White, Kirsty Krause. Saturday we have Billy Currington, Easton Corbin, and Frankie Ballard, and then we got former Wisconsin Badger and Super Bowl winner of the Giants, Travis Beckham, DJing both nights because he's a diehard country fan.
Yeah.
So you'll be up there slinging the tunes between the acts and everything like that.
So awesome. When it comes to, you talked about the tickets and the VIP is sold out. and people can buy individual. What happens if you, God forbid, you get weather? Rain or shine, we go off?
Rain or shine, we go out. I mean, knock on, hopefully it's again that wood we're talking about. Rain or shine. We're surrounded by trees. It is definitely rain or shine.
Okay. Sponsorship-wise, how difficult was it? Because obviously money drives the train. How difficult was it to get everybody involved? I mean, obviously Peter's involved.
Yep.
But connection-wise, did you just have to work the area of Cedarburg, or is this a much larger thing? I know Quick Trip's involved.
Yeah, Quick Trip's involved, which is fantastic. Coons RV's now donating RVs for us, which is fantastic. I mean, we had a lot of sponsors in 2020 roll over to 2021. We gave them a deal saying, hey, because they stuck with us before the pandemic, how about you stick with us for 2021 and we'll make it work for you? And almost all of them did, which is fantastic. We got a lot of new sponsors that came on board this year. And then there's a lot that just, not many dropped, but there's a couple that did early on. And that's just the nature of the beast. There's people that are excited to have things back. There's people that are a little leery still. And it's just, we just got to roll with the punches and accept who wants to be there and who doesn't.
I would assume business-wise, obviously this last year with quarantines and such has hurt sponsorships all over, but probably smaller venues like this. I mean, Peter, you saw it, right? You saw with the quarantine and such, it shut everybody down for a while.
Yeah, it was, those few months were a little rough, but coming out of that though, this has been like, as soon as that ended, it's been gangbusters here.
Really?
Ever since. Oh man, business for us, business, this whole area, Grafton, Cedarburg really took off. Right as soon as that ended, Cedarburg exploded. So it's been great here actually it's extremely local. I mean, it's hard to speak for anybody else, but extremely local has been great. So we've been busy.
I would agree. I mean, that's so cool that he says that because he's right. When that whole pandemic was going on, people did carryouts, but as soon as the bars opened, I mean, everybody in this Ozaki County, but especially Cedarburg Grafton, they came out. I remember coming in here like on a Wednesday, and it was just door to wall, coming in. Like, what's going on? Is there a private party? Like, no, we're open again.
Right.
And people were giving back, which was just so cool to see.
And that was really cool. Even during the shutdown time, people were very understanding and very generous. We stayed open to do to-goes and growler fills and all that kind of stuff, and to-go sangrias, and people just came out in force. It was a really cool thing to see. Actually, as one silver lining to that whole thing. It really people came out in just huge numbers. It was unbelievable to us. We were open limited hours and we were just jam packed. People, this line out the door for people coming in and getting to go stuff. And they really, not just here, but all through town, Cedarburg people really came out and really supported the community. It was really cool to see that. It was really awesome.
This is a unique area. It's north of Milwaukee. For those that are watching, throughout parts unknown, or people that are on the western portion of the state or out in Madison or wherever it happens to be. So this is a unique area. It's an older area, more historic area. But I think it's been, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been used in a Hallmark movie or two along the way, as Kristen tells me. So talk a little bit about the business culture here, because we want to touch on that because they have been supportive of what's going on over here.
I mean, Cedarburg is a special town. I mean, Toby Keith actually filmed a music video here as well. I mean, there's just so much history with Cedarburg, and so many people support this town. It's a huge tourism town. There's a lot of festivals, and everybody supports everybody. You could go to a bar, you could go shopping, go get a happy hour drink, go get dinner, go get dessert, and go somewhere else. You can hit 6-7 places all in one up and down Washington Avenue, and also the other places that are outside Washington Avenue. So there's so much history here, and every year there's something. Every season there's something in fall, there's something in winter, there's something in spring. It's never a dead time in this town. And it's just really cool to see.
Cedarburg's been really great on promoting itself and really bringing people to the area from all over the state and all over the country as well.
Because this is a Strawberry Festival, correct?
Yeah, they do.
Strawberry Fest is in June. And then coming up here,
and that's one of their big ones, right?
It's huge, yeah. It's like
it didn't take place this year,
though.
No,
this year unfortunately didn't happen. But Wine and Harvest Fest, which is equally the same size, that's coming back. That'll be this year. So that's the last.
I think it's September 16th, 17th.
Yeah,
it's a Saturday,
14,
Sunday.
15, 16, 17.
Somewhere in there.
That's coming up here in September, and then there's Oktoberfest in the middle of October. It's a little small. That's a little bit of a smaller one, but that's growing too. The footprint of that is starting to increase, and then you got Winterfest in January.
Fridays down there.
Festive Fridays during Christmas time and everything. So there's always a lot of stuff going on out here, which is really great. That really is great for business. It really draws people here, so it's a huge asset.
So this obviously hasn't been going on that long, and you were talking about Kip Moore a couple of years ago coming here, and then it didn't happen last year. How tough was it to get people to reinvest and get and well, because right now you're seeing Summerfest say everybody has to have a vaccination, everybody has to have a card, everybody has to have a test. And some of it is the labels. It's not
Sure.
just Summerfest. So how tough was it when all of a sudden things began to open up and you had these guests booked? They know what they're walking into because that's not something like Stevie Nicks is canceling a tour if people aren't vaccinated.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, Live Nation just announced, I think, starting September 1st, all Live Nation tours, you have to be vaccinated. A lot of stuff are starting in September for this, and some are, like you said, are right now. And our goal is August was looking really great, back in May and June, and we've had a lot of support from our fans, and and the artists are all green lighted to go and everything because they know this was on the calendar and just trying to get through the August. Everyone's trying to get to do before September.
Right.
And we had people flying in. I mean, to go with that Cedarburg thing, we have people coming from 26 different states that are flying in to stay in this city because they loved it so much and they wanted to come back and to see Kip Moore rebooked again. He wanted to come back. The one thing we did, and I believe we might be the only festival in the state that did this, but I'm not 100% sure, is when it got canceled in 2020, everybody was offering a refund or a rollover for their ticket for the next year for a show. Every concert was doing that. We added a second day for Friday and gave everybody who had a ticket that show for free. So we had almost 2,000 people that bought tickets for Billy Currington in 2020. We surprised them with Kip Moore's coming back with Drake White on Friday, and they got that show for free. So we didn't charge a dime for any of those 2,000 people to buy a ticket. And I think we were the only festival to do that because it's a risk. It's a financial risk because you're just like, hey, we're giving you this free show here, right? But we felt it was unfair that people got cheated out of the concert, and we really are about giving back in the charities and helping other people. And we thought, what better way? And our refunds were very low. I mean, maybe under 50, if that, because people got a chance to be able to see 2 days out of this. I'm holding on my ticket.
So when Kip Moore said, hey, I'll come back, and after last year and what happened, and Billy Currington wanted to be here last year and couldn't, do you go to the label? Do the label say, hey, we'll give you a discount? Or because they also missed a year, are they like,
they want their money.
They want their money now.
Yeah, they don't really give a discount. I mean, the financials are all depends if they're on tour. It all depends if they're getting routed from a different city up here. The charity aspect helps, not really financially, but helps Mike get it done, because they know it's all giving back. It did help, though, with Kip because he knows the setup. Right. He knows the sound. He knows the lights. He knows our production. He knows what it is. So it's easier when an artist likes an event to want to come back to that same event again. And he has a huge following in Wisconsin. He has a huge Summerfest crowd. He has a huge – he comes up here almost every year because he has a great following. So financially, I wouldn't say it was saving us a ton by any means, but it definitely helped that we had him before.
So over here, Peter, what is the expectation for not just your place, but for some of the local businesses when this takes place?
So the first year this went on, so not just us, the whole town was just packed. Because not only do you have the people, that's 4,000.
Even if you're not in over here, you could sit here and hear it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So,
which if I drink 2 or 3 of these, I'm not making it over there. I'm going to sit here and hear it.
Yeah. So even if when it sells out, because it's going to sell out, because it sells out. It sold out first year like so fast, and it's a great concert. It's a great venue in there. So even if that sells out, though, you still be part of the party, though, because the party kind of goes out, it spills out from here and goes everywhere in the city.
Right.
Not only do you have those 4,000 people who are here for the weekend for each day, you have people who are just coming in for the party, which is another probably 4,000 to 5,000 on top of that. So this town really explodes. So any of the bars and restaurants in town, some of the shops will stay open later and stuff. So it's really is a huge thing for the businesses in Cedarburg. It's really helped out a lot.
I'm getting people. I got a couple of buddies of mine that one texted me and said, "Is there food?" So they want to come, and he said, if you're in there standing all day, obviously there's beverages. Yep. Is there food there as well? You got like food trucks around?
Yeah, we actually have 8 food vendors that'll be in there. And the nice thing is we try to do a wide variety of food. So we have like one that's Chinese, we have one that's pizza, we have one that's barbecue, one that's tacos, one that's desserts, one that's cheese curds, one that's kettle corn. So we do and then we do a couple local here, like with New Fortune and Stilt House, local businesses. So plenty of food to choose from on there, and then they have great stuff here. You guys, their pretzels are some of the best.
Yeah, the giant pretzel,
that's so good. Yeah. Just what you need with a couple beers.
You want to put it on your head and eat your way out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we definitely have that, and like you mentioned too, with all these people here that eat the food, but more importantly, because we're a 2-day event, all the hotels are booked on all 3 days. Even in Grafton, even at the edge of Mequon, they're booked. All these bread and breakfasts are booked. They come into town, like you said. There's thousands of people that just come down here just for sit, the party, just to come down and just realize, and it helps the businesses at the end of the day, and that's what the end goal is here.
So here's the question, because let's just say you're sold out, which we believe you will be. Mm-hmm. Can you go to the ball field and just hang out in the stands over there and still hear
funny.
the music?
We thought that was going to happen in 2019 when Kip was here. I'm like, oh, they'll go up on the hill. The nice thing is there's so many trees and we put up a 12-foot fence, so you really can't see in at all, but you can hear. We can't stop you. And not many people did that. But what was cool is I actually, towards the middle of Kip's act, I went outside to look out the gate. It was like 15 people dancing in the street because the street's closed, just having a good time.
Yeah.
And we can't help you. We can't fault you for having a good time and enjoying life, during this time. So there are people, but nowhere near than what we thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm driving in today and I'm looking around and I kind of see, and it's just an open expanse. And for people that have never been here, it's just a park. It's just a downtown in the Burbs Park. And I'm thinking, what would prevent me from going across the street and standing on top of the bleachers and watching this show, And other than not being able to climb up and down the bleachers after a while. But
it's a high risk, low reward, I think. But it's
right,
we can do it.
If there's a tree and you're cat-like, you go for that, Another question was, because it's a park, are you dogs and stuff? Are you
no
dogs,
animals,
no right?
animals and everything like that. So it's almost act like you're going
animals.
into
Pete, you can't go.
Yeah, sorry.
No gorillas.
It's like you almost got to act like you're walking into Summerfest,
right?
Walking into a venue, because it's so funny. You walk by that park, and these fence guys are amazing. They'll start on Monday. They'll put up the fence, the video boards. They darken. You walk in there, it doesn't even look like Cedar Creek Park with all the vendors, the music, all the stuff, and then it's gone. Like there's people complaining, could you put the fence up? There's garbage. And literally by Monday, you drive by Monday night and you have no idea that anything even occurred. Because that's my promise to the city. I said, that's a public park. We are going to clean that park. We're going to make how they work, those businesses for the fencing and the bathrooms, unbelievable.
I know that they put the lights up over there as well. Which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you guys put that up, or was that just part of the Parks Department?
The park had those up with the old stage at Summer Sounds. Actually, it could have been, I think they had the old stage. And then when they built the new stage with those pillars, they definitely put that up. So I don't know if that's part of Summer Sounds or part of the people that put the stage up, or a little bit of both.
Because it's decorated nice for a community park. It's really nice.
Beautiful. That's where they do their ice rink in the wintertime, too, underneath there. So it's kind of lit up.
They just upgraded the stage, too. Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think 3 years ago, right before us.
Upgraded the band shell, and they really did a phenomenal job on the acoustics and on that and everything.
How do you get the artists in?
Great question. So so last year,
because you don't really have backstage, so we don't have it's tour buses or something.
So two years ago when we had it, Kip Moore was supposed to not show up until 8 a.m. on Saturday, and I'm at the park up 32 hours straight just working, and it's 2 a.m. I just lock up the park, and I'm like, because I was the only one there, I'm like, I'm gonna go home, get 2 hours of sleep. I live right downtown. As soon as I drive out, here comes two tour buses at 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
Really?
Here they show up early, so I let them in. But here's the thing: is they actually had to go past the entrance, past the baseball field, to come do a U-turn to come in, because there's only one way you can turn in. And then all of a sudden they have their semi truck, and we had them pull all the way in, and then we built the stage out to allow the semi to back up, and then we parked their tour buses actually behind stage on that grass. We're hoping it's dry, because if it's not dry, we got to keep them on the concrete. But we'll line them up there. I mean, it's tight back there, but it's surprising. That stage in the back, it's actually so big back there, where all those buses and the nature and everything, you wouldn't realize it.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of space back there.
How the band guys like it? I mean, the headliners, they're the ones connecting with the people, but the band guys, the drummers, the guitarists, normally they're used to running around on big stages, and some of these stages are 100 feet, 150 feet, that they got to run around on. This is not. We keep them tight on there. They're fine with it, because again, a lot of these guys do a lot of acoustic, and they're used to, if you go to Nashville, these guys perform in Nashville during the wintertime and the summertime, and they're at Tootsie's, or they're at, some bar, and these bars is just as big as this, right here. And that's all they can perform on. Yeah. And so, when they go to their stadiums, do they love around? Sure. They get that advantage. But the nice thing is, when we send this contract out, we just tell them, hey, here's the platform. This is what you got. I can't add any more.
And you're right. They're used to that.
They're used to it. So it doesn't surprise them. And the one thing I will say with artists, they're adapting. It takes more work. But at the end of the day, they're knowing they're putting on a show out for the people, and they're going to do the best that they can with the space.
How much does it scale back? Because some of the productions they have in arenas are just massive, with videos and pyrotechnics and all that kind of stuff. How much do they have to scale back and leave semis at home?
Yeah, they scale back a good amount. I mean, Kip, like some of these artists wants to put an 80-foot banner to hang. Oh, we don't even have 80 feet of height, on our back, so they can't put their banner. We bring video boards out for them, but sometimes they have their own video boards that show music videos while they're playing and everything like that. Certain light shows they can't do, right? So they do have to scale it back. I mean, some of these, when they're on tour, they're bringing 3 tour buses and 4 semis. We're down to 2 tour buses in 1 semi. So they definitely got to scale back a good amount. But but at the same time, it's a less of a trip for them. Less to do.
What kind of an issue is it? Because if they get here a day early and get set up, how quick of a turnaround? I mean, because you got to get one guy off and the next guy on. Plus, you got to get the local bands to be able to get ready to go play. Yeah. I mean, that's got to be orchestrated. Yeah, somebody's got to be there with a clipboard yelling time.
I leave up. We hire a stage manager, and those guys are great because they actually ran the State Fair of Wisconsin for many years, so they're used to that stuff. Because my first year, what I did was I found the right people for the right position. I have the background, I have the history, I have the work ethic for it. But if we're going to do this right, you got one shot at it. Yeah. You mess up, it's not going to look great going forward. So we hired the right people for it, and this stage manager, they're fantastic, and they're down to the minutes on everything. And also with the stage being so small, what we do is we put a lot of Kip Moore stuff in 2019 to the back of the stage. Mm-hmm. And because the openers are only acoustic, we just put them on bar stools with guitars. So they're way up front. And then when they're done, we slowly move everything up.
And when you say acoustic, they're still amplified.
They're amplified, but it's guitar only, or it's a beat drum on the side, or a keyboard. It's no full, electric guitar. Exactly. And they're into a space of maybe 20, 30 feet.
So before we get out of here, so Peter, first of all, anything special that people need to know coming to this place either that weekend or any other weekend?
We're kind of hidden down here, so if you're just go to the creek and follow the creek. Actually, that's to get down to us.
You fall in the creek, swim.
Swim
if
north.
You're in the water. You're not too far.
What's the address so people just know in case they're watching from across the state?
Oh, you're
what street are you on?
We're on Portland. We have one of those grid addresses, and I can never remember.
Okay,
we're on Portland Road, so we're just. We're one street.
If you see the amphitheater, it is just a little
we're right
bit
next
north.
to the park.
The corner of Portland and Columbia.
That's the way to put it. Exactly. Yeah. So we're right next to the park. So
if you come in and you get feed, that's the grain store.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, you don't want to go there. You want to go around back.
Because
you got to remember that you got to go around back. It's not a street side
upstairs
entrance.
Is the Landmark Feed Supply. So that's the upstairs, and we're below them. So just don't go to the feed supply if you're looking for beers. Don't go around.
There's got to be some grain in there.
Yeah. And then Alex, before we get out of here, so if there's anything people want to know, if you want to give somebody a flavor as to what it is they're going to be seeing, we've already talked a lot about it, but what preach would you give to the listening audience?
I mean, this is an event that's very special because it's something. This venue's different. You're not going to find this type of venue anywhere else except for Cedarburg, Wisconsin, with this nature setting. Kip Moore, Billy, these artists are going to put on a heck of a show. And again, we give it all the way back. We gave over $55,000 of charity in year one. We're hoping to go past that. So everybody who buys a ticket, drinks a beer, they know it's going back to something special.
Right.
And that doesn't happen at all the festivals. And we get to help people come to Cedarburg, get to show off this great town. There's more than I always tell them, it's more than just a festival. There's many things to do out here. We want people to go explore, enjoy the town, come to our festival, have an amazing time. And at the end of the day, the last thing is, everyone's going through some tough times and going through some hard work days and some long things. And it's good just to get away for a little bit.
Yeah.
We can give a little peace of mind for a few hours a night just to enjoy a great time with your friends, family, sing, dance, drink, and be able to get away before the fall and the craziness that happens.
Right.
We're here for you.
So if you want to go to, again, and I'm going to throw it up there, it's Country in the Burg. Go to countryintheburg.com. You can find it there. And that's where you can get to the website. You can get to the tickets, find all the information. You can also go, what is the website here for the Rebellion Brewery?
It's rebellionbrewingusa.com.
Rebellionbrewingusa.com. Yep. So you can also find out what the actual address is, and you probably come in and tell it to Peter exactly. when you stop in and check it out. Guys, it's good, man. It's awesome. Great to talk to you, and it's great to see you and hang out and
heck yeah, man.
And enjoy it.
Having us on.
So hopefully, I was going to say cheers before we all leave here because you got to do a little beverage here.
Exactly.
It's not a chug challenge, you.
No, God,
that's heavy. Holy mackerel. I'll wet myself before it's halfway down. So for those of you watching, we certainly appreciate you paying attention to the Happy Hour live stream. It's been a pleasure to hang out here. The next one, we're not quite sure where we're going to be. That's okay, though. Make sure you, go to countryintheburg.com. It's up there on the screen, countryintheburg.com. Time for us to go. Have a good one. Sip.